Hello everyone. Since you already clicked on this video, please make sure to subscribe. Okay, so based on the thumbnail, you guys already know what this video is going to be about. Why does my eye look like that? Am I tweaking? Look smaller, or is it just me? You guys, I don't know what's wrong with my eye. I asked you guys on Instagram and Snapchat what video did you want to see, a paranormal activity one or get ready with me, and the votes were pretty close. This was the result. So I did luckily though pre-record a get ready with me, so turn on your post notifications to stay notified for when I post that video. Okay, so I know there's a lot of people that don't believe in the paranormal world or ghosts in general, blah blah blah, this and this, but I personally do. And this is just because of the things that I've seen. Aside that, I love watching videos about it. I enjoy learning about it. I just don't like when it happens to me. If you don't believe in the paranormal, you can go ahead and exit this video now. This is just my personal experience and like 20 of my cousins, and if you guys don't believe me, I will have every single one of them up on here so they can confirm that what I am saying is true. If you don't believe in the paranormal, then how do you believe your man is gonna change? This story takes place at my parents' house. We moved in there when I was in 6th grade. So this takes us way back. My parents are the second owners of that house, so that means that the family that was there before us, we actually got to meet them. They were two old viejitos, and they were so nice. Like they were just the sweetest people ever. I still remember meeting them because obviously we went to see the house, and the house was nice. We all fit. It was the perfect 2-story house for us at that time. And yeah, they had, like, I still remember the first time that I went downstairs to the basement, I did get a weird feeling. I was only in 6th grade, so obviously I didn't take anything into consideration about anything. What the hell? I barely even probably knew how to wipe my ass at that point. But the house was nice. My parents bought it. The viejitos were crying because they had to leave. They raised their kids there. They raised their grandkids there. Like, that house has been, I mean, that was their like forever home and everything. So yeah, they ended up moving out, we ended up moving in, and everything was fine. We settled in perfectly. Everything went, like I said, regular. Nothing was wrong. Nothing was out of the ordinary. One of my uncles moved in with us. He ended up staying in the basement. Downstairs there is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and like a living room, and the washing and drying. But they were staying down there. Then he settled in, we were all living together. He had at that point I think he had 1 kid.
Yeah, happy birthday to you, by the way. I did not forget to say that, but happy birthday.
Yeah, he had my little cousin, and this is where it all started. Back then we would go to church every Sunday, and my uncle went to church with us too, with like his family. And we ended up staying a little bit later at church, just like my mom. You know, Mexican moms se la pasan hablando with like people. They're like, okay, yeah, we're leaving. But it's like 20 minutes later and they're still talking to the same person. Well, yeah, that's what happened. We ended up staying behind, and my uncle went home. By now we were already in the car. And my uncle ended up calling my mom because he forgot his keys to get in the house. And I still remember because I could hear their conversation. So I think my mom, I don't know, my mom always puts her phone on speaker. So my uncle called her because he had forgotten his keys inside the house. Obviously, we had an extra key. So he was like, hey, where are you guys at? Are you guys gonna take long? I need to get something, because I guess he had something to do. You know, that's not important, but he had something to do where he literally just had to go in and out of the house, and he was gonna leave again. My mom was like about to say, oh, we're still at church, you know, and then my uncle like was like, oh, never mind, I see the girls here. And My mom was like, what? And he was like, no, yeah, the girls are over here in the backyard playing. So mi mamá se quedó like, what do you mean, the girls? And he was like, yeah, I see, they call me Annie, my nickname is Annie in the family. Anyways, he was like, yeah, I see Annie over here playing in the backyard. And my mom was like, I don't know what you're talking about because the girls are with me. So my uncle was like, no, they're not. They are over here in the backyard playing. Mind you, we have a pretty big backyard. So my mom was like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm about to head out there pretty soon so I can give you the keys. So my uncle was like, hold on. And he hung up, they hung up, and this is where my uncle told us after. He was like, I swear I saw a little girl in the backyard running around. I thought it was one of your daughters, you know? And the girl looked like our age. Like she was like around like a 6th grader or 5th grader. She was pretty small. That's like the same height that we would be back then. My uncle got out of the car and started following this little girl that he saw. Our backyard is pretty big, and there was usually like people there. We had a lot of kids in our neighborhood around the same age, so kids used to go in and like play in our backyard como si nada, you know. He got down and started following her, and behind our garage there's like this much of an opening where you can still like pass through and you're still in our yard. It's like the garage, the little pathway, and then like the fence, and then it's like the neighbor's house. He said that he saw a little girl run behind the garage, and he started following her, and he could see like the back of her. And as soon as she turned and he like turned with her, she disappeared. So at that point, he was even scared to go inside the house and even go get what he needed. We ended up getting there, like we opened the house. My uncle thought like all panicked and whatnot, but I think that was the first time she was brought up. As the time kept passing, more and more of my family started seeing this little girl. Our house was always the house where everybody used to get together for Christmas, for New Year's, for like birthdays, Easter, all that. So when that used to happen, my family usually would sleep over and everybody would be there. There was another occasion when my aunt's husband claimed to see her outside as well playing. So apparently this little girl, she would always just be outside doing her own thing, I guess. I mean, she would never bother us. It's weird because my parents actually never saw her. I actually got to see her, and hopefully this video is not too long, or else I'll do a part 2 of my experience with this little girl. As time kept passing, more and more of my uncles or my aunts or my cousins started saying that they would see this little girl around the house. And there was this one specific room where we believe that might have been her room. Another of my cousins told me that she saw her in the laundry room. She said that the door was a little bit open and she was standing there. We have a sink there. So she was standing there. Just standing there. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to call up all my cousins so they can tell me their full stories. Also, my uncle's wife, she used to live with us, claims that she used to always see a little girl running up the stairs, and she brushed it off so many times as one of us. But there was times when there would be no one in the house, and she would see a little girl running upstairs, and you could hear footsteps around the house running back and forth and shit. But like I said, my parents never experienced anything, so they didn't really believe it until more and more of my family started coming to them and saying, no, we've seen this little girl and we always confuse her for one of your daughters. But we ended up finding out her name because of one of my other cousins. You guys, I have so many cousins. We're Mexican, okay? So, but this one cousin, I am not sure, 100% sure how her story went. She told us, and I still remember, she didn't even want to tell us because she was so scared, but she told us that she had sleep paralysis. And if you don't know what that is, it's when you're awake but you can't move, if I'm correct. That happened to her. And she told us that in this paralysis like dream, she saw the little girl. Like the girl, she saw the girl walk in to the room looking at her, and she kind of mentioned that she looked kind of rough, like her face had been like, like a scary, like I kind of picture her like the Grudge, because she had really long hair and she had like the white dress, like your typical little girl ghost. The girl came up to her, got like this close to her face, and she said, "My
name is Samantha. Don't ever forget it."
but like in a deep voice, like not a human voice. So she was freaking out. That's how we know her name. That little girl's name is Samantha. The crazy part is that for some reason we would still get mail from the old owners, and one day we got a card for sent to Samantha. That was like the full name. If I can find one, I will definitely later on in the future insert a clip of a letter. So that was kind of weird that the little girl mentioned her name was Samantha, and then we get mail to this certain Samantha person. That was what like gave us the reassurance that maybe there was something happening in the house, just because it was not only like one person. At this point there was like at least 7 people telling us that they saw a little girl in our house. And like I said, my parents, we used to always be home. My parents never saw anything. After pretty much my whole family telling my parents that they kept seeing this little girl, my parents decided to make a priest come over so he could bless the house. My parents that was actually the first thing they did before we moved in. The priest came over, everything was fine. After that, everything like se calmó, there wasn't anything really happening. Nothing, no one was really saying anything anymore. Everything was fine. But like I said, we would still get letters to this certain Samantha person. And every time I would go downstairs, I would feel uncomfortable. I wouldn't feel, there's times where you walk into a house and you can tell that there's like energy there. All of my cousins were scared to go downstairs. My uncle did end up moving out, so we had 2 rooms available downstairs, and my mom had asked me if I wanted to move downstairs, and I was like, hell the fuck no. Like, I am not about to go sleep with Samantha. No thank you. But as the years pass by, yeah, like nothing, to this day I feel like she's probably where she's supposed to be now, because we haven't seen or heard about her, which is good. Whoever that was, I wouldn't consider it a bad soul. That little girl was kind of just doing her own thing most of the time. She was just there playing by herself and running around the house, typical little girl shit. But I think this is where I'm going to leave off the video. I don't want it to be super long. I will be making another video of the experiences that I had personally with Samantha myself. This is what really, like, this is why I was just scared shitless to even go downstairs in general. She didn't do anything to me physically besides scare the fuck out of me, but I'll leave that for another video. I'm gonna leave this video off here. Might have been all over the place. I can go back and ask my cousins their personal actual experiences with more details, so I can come back and give you guys all that information. That's how we found out about this little Samantha girl. Now we kind of low-key fuck around with about it, because I mean, we are older now. We were probably like 12 years old when this was happening. But now we just tease around about her. I mean, hopefully she's not mad. I don't like talking about You guys know when you talk about something and like it comes back. Hopefully that's not the case. If you guys like today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Turn on your post notifications so you guys can see my future videos. Thank you so much for 300 subscribers. You guys are amazing. Again, I know I'm gonna get annoying, but I don't give a fuck. This is where I'm going to leave off today's video.